Energy beings, the profound implications of the human electrical system. You are not a body, you are electric. What if you are not just a chemical body with a nervous system, but fundamentally an electromagnetic being using the body as an antenna? It's a paradigm shift. The body is electrical before it is chemical. Every sensation, thought, or heartbeat is a dance of charged particles and currents. We live inside a humming bioelectric field that orchestrates our chemistry, not the other way around. The heart, brain, and even each cell emit and respond to invisible currents and fields. When we truly grasp this, it rips open the veil between what feels real and what actually is. As one physician famously put it, the voltage of your body determines everything. Positive emotions increase cellular tension, while negative emotions decrease it. In other words, your moods and health are as much about electricity as about hormones. In this introduction, we'll explore how human beings are energy beings, powered by frequency, light, and voltage, and why remembering this truth can be transformational. The human bioelectrical blueprint. Our wiring diagram starts at the cellular level and scales up. Key components of the human electrical system include cells as batteries. Every cell maintains a voltage across its membrane, 70 millivolts in a typical neuron, by pumping ions. This membrane potential means each cell is essentially a tiny battery, charged and ready. When healthy, cells operate in a narrow voltage range, about 20 to 25 MV internally, per integrative medicine research, and can increase voltage to heal damaged tissue. If a cell's voltage drops too low for too long, it falters. A sustained loss of membrane potential triggers dysfunction or even cell death. In short, life runs on electricity. Your heart, muscles, and brain fire only because of voltage gradients and currents. The brain's electromagnetic networks. We often hear neurons fire chemical neurotransmitters, but that's only half the story. Neurons also communicate via fast electric fields. When billions of brain cells oscillate together, they generate measurable brainwave frequencies, alpha, beta, theta, gamma, literally an electromagnetic orchestra in your head. Emerging neuroscience suggests these EM field effects are not just byproducts, but may be central to consciousness. In fact, researchers have found that ephaptic coupling, the direct electromagnetic interaction between neurons, can carry signals 5,000 times faster than synaptic chemical signals. Brainwaves can synchronize across distant regions without any direct connections, implying a whole-field coordination. As a Scientific American report mused, an electromagnetic mechanism might underlie awareness, beyond the classic neuron firing model. Your mind is an EM field as much as a collection of cells. The heart, powerhouse EM generator. The human heart is the strongest source of bioelectricity in the body. With each beat, the heart produces a burst of electrical voltage, measured by ECG, and a corresponding magnetic pulse. The heart's electrical field is about 60 times stronger in amplitude than the brain's electrical activity, and its magnetic field is up to 100 times stronger. This magnetic field forms a toroidal shape, donut-shaped, around the body, detectable several feet away with sensitive instruments. In effect, the heart is a beacon, rhythmically radiating an electromagnetic field that envelops every cell and even reaches into the environment. Astonishingly, our hearts may be sensing and broadcasting emotional energy, acting like an EM communication hub in the body. It fluctuates with our emotional state, literally encoding our feelings into electromagnetic patterns. Fascia and the piezoelectric web. Wrap a knuckle, wiggle a toe. Beneath your skin, a hidden electrical web is at play. The fascia, a connective tissue network wrapping muscles and organs, exhibits piezoelectricity. This means when stretched or compressed, fascia generates electric charges. Collagen fibers in fascia act like liquid crystals, converting mechanical stress into electrical energy. During trauma or chronic tension, fascia often becomes tight, gel-like, and can hold a charge, almost like an electrical scar or memory. Therapists in myofascial release describe this as the body storing emotional or physical trauma in the tissue. Indeed, fascia has 6-10 times more sensory nerve endings than muscle, making it acutely sensitive. When fascia finally releases, through bodywork, stretching, etc., people often report an emotional release as well, as if the stored charge dissipates. In essence, our connective tissue is a vast electrochemical semiconductor, recording our life's stresses and releases in voltage. Mitochondria, voltage gatekeepers of life. Deep in each cell, the mitochondria are busily pumping electrons to power ATP production. In doing so, they maintain an electrical potential of about 140–180 MV across their inner membrane. This tiny battery drives proton currents that churn out energy molecules. If mitochondrial voltage drops, energy output plummets. If it collapses entirely, the cell can trigger self-destruction, apoptosis. Mitochondria literally set the baseline voltage of your cells, and thus your vitality. Researchers note that aging and disease often correlate with a decline in mitochondrial membrane potential. Basically, the cellular batteries start to drain. On the flip side, practices like red/near-infrared light therapy can boost mitochondrial voltage and function, helping cells produce more energy. Your stamina, immunity, and even thinking clarity are tied to how well these microscopic power packs maintain charge. It's a reminder that life's spark is not just poetic, it's electric. Implication: the human body's infrastructure is fundamentally electrical. Thought, emotion, movement, and healing all arise from bioelectrical interactions, from the brain's flickering EM waves to the heart's broadcasting field, down to each cell's voltage. Coherence in these electrical patterns, ordered harmonious signals, likely underpins health, whereas discord, chaotic signals, low voltage, can spell dis-ease. In short, we are wired for electricity, and learning to keep our circuitry tuned may be the key to optimal health. You are tied to the Earth's electrical system. Far from being isolated, our personal energy field is nested within greater planetary fields. The Earth itself has an electric pulse, and our bodies appear to synchronize with it in surprising ways. Schumann Resonance, Earth's heartbeat. In 1952, physicist Winfried Schumann predicted the Earth had a natural electromagnetic resonance in the atmosphere. He was right. Between the ground and the ionosphere, Earth rings with a set of low frequencies, mainly around 7.83 Hz, the fundamental Schumann resonance. Fascinatingly, this frequency lies in the alpha brainwave range of human neural activity. Some scientists have noted it's identical to the brain's calm, meditative alpha waves. Studies have even found real-time coupling between changes in the Schumann resonance and human EEG brainwaves in the 616 Hz band. In other words, when the Earth's magnetic pulse fluctuates, our brain rhythms can subtly respond in kind. It's as if we have an antenna tuned to the planet's background beat. Little wonder that 7.83 Hz is often called Earth's heartbeat. Our minds may literally ride on its rhythm. Grounding, plugging into Earth's electrons. For most of history, humans walked barefoot or slept on the ground, maintaining direct electrical contact with the Earth. Today we wear rubber soles, live in high-rises, and are largely disconnected from the Earth's charge. Grounding or earthing is the practice of reconnecting by walking barefoot, touching soil, or using conductive mats to allow the Earth's abundant free electrons to flow into the body. Why do this? Emerging research suggests absorbing Earth's electrons can neutralize free radicals and reduce inflammation in the body. Grounding even for an hour or two has been shown to thin the blood, reducing viscosity by improving the zeta potential of red blood cells, and improve heart rate variability. In one study, just 2 hours of grounding significantly increased the surface charge on RBCs, implying less clotting tendency. Subjects who slept grounded reported decreased chronic pain and better sleep. Essentially, the Earth is a gigantic anti-inflammatory battery. When you connect to it, you recharge and stabilize your own electric circuits. We literally feed on the Earth's electrons to keep our biological charge optimal. Atmospheric electricity and well-being. The air around us is full of ions, especially near waterfalls, forests, or after thunderstorms. Negative ions, with an extra electron, have been linked anecdotally to improved mood and alertness, whereas positive ions lacking electrons, such as in smoggy city air, are often associated with fatigue or tension. Modern environments, by contrast, bombard us with artificial EM fields from power lines, Wi-Fi, electronics, and isolate us from Earth, insulating shoes, concrete buildings. The result of this electromagnetic malnutrition can be stress, poor sleep, and inflammation. In fact, researchers have termed the practice of reconnecting to Earth's electrons as restoring electromagnetic hygiene. Without it, our human battery becomes dysregulated, like a phone on 1% charge, frantically trying to function. Grounding, natural light exposure, and fresh air are simple remedies to realign with the Earth's frequencies. Implication: you are not separate from nature's electrical ecosystem. You are an extension of it. The Earth's EM field and resonances act as a kind of master clock and healing source for our biology. Many modern ailments, chronic inflammation, insomnia, anxiety, may stem in part from an unnatural EMF soup and disconnection from the Earth's stabilizing charge. By resyncing with the Earth, earthing practices, time outdoors, we can recalibrate our electric bodies, improving everything from blood viscosity to stress hormones. Modern human 2.0 might be one who carries a smartphone but also walks barefoot in the park, equally at home with technology and with the primordial ground charge that sustains us. The solar plus cosmic circuit. Zooming out further, our personal energy is influenced by the sun above us and even cosmic forces from beyond. We truly live in a cosmic electrical circuit. The sun's multifaceted energies. The sun gives us light and heat, but also bombards Earth with electrically charged particles, the solar wind, and fluctuating magnetic fields. Sunlight itself is a spectrum of electromagnetic radiation from infrared to ultraviolet. These photons are not just energy, they carry information that our biology uses. For instance, sunrise light triggers our circadian clock through retinal sensors, telling our brain to stop producing melatonin and start cortisol for the day. The timing, color, and intensity of sunlight act like data signals for our hormones and genes, literally programming our bodies to the time of day and season. Lack of natural light or exposure to artificial light at wrong times, think screens at midnight, scrambles these signals, leading to sleep and mood disorders. So sunlight is a code our bodies have evolved to read. Beyond vitamin D production, it sets rhythm, boosts serotonin, and synchronizes every cell's 24-hour clock. In a sense, the sun's photons speak directly to our DNA and mitochondria, a daily download of cosmic information. Solar storms and human ailments. The sun isn't steady, it has an 11-year activity cycle with peaks of sunspots, flares, and coronal mass ejections. During intense solar events, Earth's magnetic environment quakes. Geomagnetic storms occur. Surprisingly, studies have linked these solar-driven magnetic disturbances to spikes in human health crises. For example, a study in Russia over 3 years found 85,000 plus myocardial infarctions were temporally linked with solar storm periods. Other research in multiple countries observed a 19% increase in strokes during solar geomagnetic storms. Additionally, heart rate variability tends to decrease, a sign of stress on the heart, when geomagnetic activity is high. And even healthy astronauts showed a 30% HRV reduction during a geomagnetic storm. People commonly report poor sleep or anxiety during solar flares, and indeed there is evidence that melatonin levels drop when geomagnetic turbulence spikes. The theory is the pineal gland's enzyme activity is disrupted. In essence, when the sun sneezes, our hearts and nervous systems feel it. These findings underscore how wired into the solar system we truly are. The sun's magnetic whispers and shouts enter our geomagnetic environment and can literally alter our cardiovascular and neurohormonal balance in subtle but detectable ways. Cosmic rays, climate, and consciousness. Beyond the sun, high-energy cosmic rays from distant stars constantly pepper the Earth, though our atmosphere shields us from most. Cosmic rays are ionizing. They can strike DNA, causing mutations. Some scientists have speculated that cosmic rays might influence evolutionary leaps by increasing genetic variation during periods of intense cosmic activity, for instance, supernova events. There's even a hypothesis that cosmic rays contributed to the chirality of life's molecules, why biology uses left-handed amino acids, by preferentially destroying one mirror form over the other in the prebiotic soup. On a shorter time scale, cosmic rays also affect Earth's weather. Experiments like CERN's cloud have shown that ionization from cosmic rays helps seed cloud formation. More cosmic rays, more low clouds, a cooler climate perhaps. This is a controversial area of climatology, but it suggests even our atmosphere's behavior ties to the galaxy. Now it's intriguing, though speculative, to consider whether cosmic and solar cycles could also influence collective human behavior or consciousness. Historically, figures like Alexander Chizhevsky claimed periods of solar maxima correlated with social unrest and epidemics. We do know geomagnetic activity can alter mood and cognition in individuals. For example, one study found human alpha brainwaves can become synchronized to daily geomagnetic fluctuations. While much remains to be discovered, one thing is clear. We live in an electromagnetic cosmos, and its fluctuations trickle down into our minds and bodies. Implication: the boundary of self is porous when it comes to energy. You are a node in a vast solar cosmic web. Solar flares can jangle your nervous system. Cosmic rays may subtly nudge your biology. This means our well-being is a planetary and even galactic affair. It's not just poetic to say we are stardust. On an electrical level, we are tuned to the sun and stars. The practical takeaway is to be aware of these influences. For instance, during geomagnetic storms, prioritize relaxation and sleep hygiene, since your melatonin might dip. Recognize that feeling off could sometimes be solar weather and not just personal failing. Ultimately, acknowledging our cosmic connections can expand our sense of identity. We are electrical beings in an electrical universe, and remembering this can help us flow with larger energy cycles rather than against them. Emotions as electric currents. We usually describe emotions as feelings, hormones, or brain states, but they are also electric currents that course through our body's wiring, altering voltage and field patterns in real time. Fear and stress. Voltage drop and contraction. Think of the phrase paralyzed by fear. In electrical terms, fear often correlates with a system-wide contraction. Under acute stress or fright, blood vessels constrict, muscles tense as if to armor the body, and the sympathetic fight or flight response kicks in. At a cellular level, negative emotions like fear or anger are linked with acidifying tissues and oxidative stress, which can literally pull down the membrane potential of cells. In Dr. Jerry Tennant's research on cellular voltage, he notes that negative emotions reduce cellular voltage, or tension, whereas positive emotions raise it. We might say fear causes an electrical brownout in your system. You feel drained because, in a sense, your cells' batteries get depleted more quickly. The heart's rhythm during fear becomes erratic and disordered, reflecting a kind of electrical incoherence. Brainwave patterns under stress show high beta activity, chaotic fast activity. Even the fascia, as mentioned, can lock up and hold a charge under trauma, as if the body freezes the current in time. Chronic fear and anxiety thus equate to chronic electrical dysregulation, like a short circuit that keeps tripping. This contributes to immune suppression and inflammation. For example, studies show anger can suppress IgA immune antibodies for hours after an outburst. So fear = a low-voltage, incoherent state for the human biofield. Love and joy coherence and field expansion. Positive emotions, on the other hand, generate order and expansion in our electrical signals. When you feel love, gratitude, or compassion, the heart's beating pattern becomes remarkably smooth and sine wave-like, a state called heart coherence. In this state, the heart's electromagnetic field becomes more organized and can even amplify. Experiments have shown that during sincere positive emotions, the heart's magnetic field can transmit signals that are detected in the brain waves of nearby people, implying that an expansive field of love literally reaches out. Love and appreciation also boost vagal tone, the parasympathetic response, which is associated with a relaxed high-voltage state in cells via better oxygenation, etc. One study found that practicing unconditional love and kindness meditation led to increased gamma brainwave synchrony and heart rhythm coherence in the practitioners. Gamma waves are the highest frequency brainwaves, linked to heightened awareness and bliss. They often appear during peak spiritual experiences. It's as if love plugs us into a higher frequency circuit, allowing our systems to resonate at full power and harmony. People experiencing deep love or joy often describe feeling light or uplifted, telling words for an electrical being, literally experiencing a lift in energetic frequency and voltage. Trauma, the electrical scar. We touched on how fascia can store trauma electrically. In essence, a past traumatic event can imprint an oscillating imprint in the biofield that doesn't dissipate. This might manifest as chronic tightness in a certain muscle group, or a pattern of shallow breathing, or even a subconscious flinch reflex. These are all signs of an electrical loop left open. Modalities like somatic therapy, EMDR, or acupuncture often aim to release these stuck currents. For example, somatic experiencing therapy encourages a trauma survivor to gently complete the fight-flight response, shaking, crying, etc., which discharges the stored electrical tension in the nerves and fascia. It's like completing a circuit that was left unfinished. Myofascial release therapy physically and energetically unbinds fascia, letting the piezoelectric charges dissipate safely. People often report feeling a warm flow or tingling during emotional release. That's bioelectric energy moving and freeing up. In the future, we may even use devices, microcurrent stimulators, PEMF mats, to locate and smooth out these bioelectric scars. Recognizing trauma as a disturbance in our body's electrical integrity removes some stigma. It's not in your head, it's in your circuits, and it can be rebalanced with the right approach. Breath, your electrical pacing device. Among the most powerful tools to regulate our inner voltage is right under or within your nose, your breath. Breathing isn't just gas exchange. It's more like an oscillating charge pump that can tune the vagus nerve and heart. Slow, deep breathing at a rhythm around 6 breaths per minute, 0.1 Hz, causes a phenomenon called respiratory sinus arrhythmia, The heart rate smoothly oscillates up and down in sync with breath. This creates a resonance in your blood pressure and heart-brain signals that maximizes HRV coherence. Essentially, by breathing at the right tempo, you can drive your whole system into coherence, like using a tuning fork to set the tone. Studies show that such paced breathing boosts baroreflex sensitivity and vagal activity, putting you in a relaxed yet alert state. In bioelectric terms, each breath creates a wave of pressure and electrical potential that travels through your body. Every time your lungs expand, it slightly charges the thoracic cavity, and vice versa. Your cells and neurons love rhythmic fluctuation. It's a sign of safety and allows recharge. This is why pranayama, yogic breathwork, has profound effects on mood and energy. You are literally tuning your electrical rhythms with breath as the metronome. Next time you're anxious, remember, your lungs can hack your voltage. 3 minutes of slow, heart-focused breathing can shift you from a frazzled, erratic state to a coherent, high-voltage state of calm. Implication: mastering our emotions is more than a mental or moral effort. It's bioelectrical self-regulation. Emotional intelligence could equally be called electrical intelligence. By developing awareness and tools like breath control, meditation, grounding, to shift our inner state, we are learning to manage our voltage and frequency. High coherent vibrations, love, gratitude, courage, literally empower our cells and communicate stability to our organs. Low, incoherent vibrations, fear, rage, despair, dysregulate and deplete us. The beauty is that we have agency. Practices like mindfulness or heart-focused breathing are essentially voltage regulators, allowing us to deliberately exit the stress frequency and enter a healing frequency. Emotional mastery in the future might be taught as a form of operating your body's electrical panel, knowing when to reset a breaker, taking a break when overwhelmed, how to increase current safely, engaging in uplifting activities, and how to conserve energy, healthy boundaries, grounding. The age-old advice to take a deep breath truly is electrical medicine. Energy literacy, =, human evolution. What does it mean to be electrically aware as a human? We're entering a time where ancient wisdom about the life force meets modern science of the biofield. Energy literacy will likely be a hallmark of the future human, one who isn't just smarter, but tuned in to their energetic environment and hygiene. Energy hygiene is the new self-care. Just as we brush teeth and shower, maintaining our personal energy field will become routine. The payoff is more stable moods, less brain fog, and better immunity. For example, spending 20 minutes earthing on grass can noticeably calm an overactive mind. You're literally discharging stress electrons into the ground. In the coming years, we might measure personal voltage reserves like we do blood pressure, and people will intuitively seek a charge balance. Too much screen time? Go touch a tree to equalize. Somatic therapies and trauma release. The medical field is embracing that the issues are in our tissues, and those tissues conduct electricity. Therapies that blend physical and energetic release are on the rise. Yoga, Qigong, Tai Chi, these ancient arts can be seen as ways to move and cultivate bioelectric energy, prana or qi, within the body, clearing blockages and strengthening the field. Somatic therapies, like trauma-informed massage, myofascial release, somatic experiencing psychotherapy, explicitly work to release stored electrical trauma from the nervous system and fascia. As this perspective grows, people won't just talk about muscle knots, they'll talk about energy knots and seek to untie them. This is a renaissance of integrative healing, marrying tissue work with field work. Technologies for electroceuticals. On the tech front, we are seeing a boom in devices that treat the body electrically instead of chemically. PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic field. Therapy mats help regenerate cells by bathing them in specific healing frequencies. TDCS and neurofeedback headsets use mild currents to entrain brainwaves for better focus or mood. Biofeedback apps, like HeartMath's Inner Balance, actually give you a readout of your heart coherence and teach you to self-regulate into a coherent state with games or breathing prompts. Even mainstream medicine is testing electroceuticals. For instance, stimulating the vagus nerve with electrical pulses to treat depression or epilepsy. The common thread is recognizing the body's code is electrical, and we can interface with it using frequency and current. In the near future, a visit to the doctor might include an energy scan of your biofield to detect imbalances before they manifest physically. Prevention will become more about keeping your voltage up and steady than just blood tests. Light as nutrition. We usually think of food and supplements for nutrition, but light is now recognized as a crucial nutrient for our energy body. We've discussed sunlight and circadian rhythms, that's foundational. Beyond that, therapies like red light therapy, photobiomodulation, are being used to boost cellular energy and reduce pain by shining red/near-infrared LEDs on the skin. This light penetrates and stimulates mitochondria to produce more ATP, essentially charging you up. Similarly, cold lasers and colored light therapies are being explored for mood, blue light for midday alertness, amber light for evening calm, etc. There's even research on sound-to-light devices for meditation, which drive brainwaves using flickering LEDs or binaural beats. In sum, we're expanding our view of nutrition to include the full spectrum of sensory energies: light, sound, electromagnetic fields, which can be dosed for healing effect. Malillumination, insufficient natural light exposure, might be coined alongside malnutrition. The future human will intuitively seek the right light and right sound each day for energetic balance. Even music therapy and chanting could be seen through this lens, using sonic vibration to stabilize our frequencies. We already know listening to 432 Hz music or Tibetan bowls can induce trance-like calm. The next step is to deliberately apply frequencies like medicine. Spiritual awakening as a resonance upgrade. Traditionally, enlightenment or awakening has been described in metaphysical terms. But we can also describe it electrically, a sudden or gradual upgrade in the coherence of one's biofield. Advanced meditators show unprecedented brainwave synchronization and high-frequency gamma activity across the brain, as well as sustained heart coherence. This is the signature of a system operating in unity, all subsystems resonating together. People who have near-death experiences or profound mystical experiences often report their body buzzing or seeing/feeling intense light. Their circuits flooded with high-frequency energy, essentially. Spiritual practices like prayer, chanting, or deep meditation might be training camps for raising our voltage and expanding our field. The more of us who achieve a baseline of higher coherence through compassion, mindfulness, etc., the more we might counteract chaos in the collective field. In essence, the next leap in human evolution may not be an extra arm or bigger brain. It could be a more expanded, finely tuned energy body. An evolution of consciousness and electromagnetic organization that allows what we call mind, body, and spirit to function as one at a higher octave. Implication: knowledge is power, and knowledge of our electrical nature is personal power. An electrically aware human takes responsibility for their vibrations. They know that their lifestyle, thoughts, emotions, environment directly affects their voltage and field coherence. Feeling depressed? They might ask, how's my charging regimen? Have I gotten natural light, earth contact, loving social connection, heart-field exchange today? Feeling scatterbrained? Perhaps check for energy leaks, too much multitasking, exposure to jarring media, or time in EMF-heavy spaces without grounding. This isn't mystical thinking, it's a practical energy accounting. The future human isn't just healthier, they're vibrationally smarter. Reclaim your circuit, remembering what you are. You are not running on caffeine, pills, or sheer willpower. At the most fundamental level, you are running on frequency, light, and voltage. This is a liberating realization. It means many solutions to our personal and global problems could come from tuning energy rather than fighting matter. It means you have the capacity to charge yourself up through nature, love, purpose, and not be a victim of a broken machine. By reclaiming your circuit, you remember that being alive is being connected, plugged into the earth, synchronized with the sun and cosmos, and resonating with those around you. We truly live in an ocean of energy. The more of us who remember and act from this truth, the more quickly we shift our world. Healthcare can evolve into energy care. Education can include emotional and electromagnetic literacy. Technology can harmonize with biology. Imagine homes designed as charging sanctuaries instead of stress amplifiers. Human potential, our creativity, intuition, empathy, likely blossoms when our circuits are coherent and humming at full power. So take a moment. Feel your heartbeat and know it's more than a pump. It's an electromagnetic drum syncing you with the stars. Feel the tingling in your nerves. That is electrical life coursing through. You are an energy being. This is what actually is. The science, the mysticism, they're converging into one reality. We are light beings in human form. When you truly embody this, you step into a new chapter of evolution, one where miraculous healing, heightened awareness, and deep unity are natural outcomes of living according to our energetic design. And now you remember, the circuit is yours again. May you shine with this knowing. Like, comment, share, subscribe.